humble opinion, there is only one person who really matters in this whole darn crazy business, and that is you. You get out there, Mr. Midnight, and you knock him dead.
The movie starts with Jack Delroy, the host of a popular late-night variety show called Night Owls. This show was different from others like Johnny Carson's because it had really unique guests. Thanks to his TV friends, Jack often goes to The Grove, a fancy schmancy summer camp in California for wealthy and powerful men. But then in 1976, his wife Madeline, who never smoked, got sick with lung cancer and sadly died. This really affected Jack, and the show's popularity started to drop. A year later, on Halloween night, Jack planned a big comeback for his show with a special episode about occultism. What follows is the lost master tape from that night and some never-before-seen backstage footage. In tonight's episode of Night Owls, the theme is all about spooky stuff, and host Jack Delroy promises some chilling guests to set the mood. The first guest is Christo, who claims he can talk to spirits. He starts by trying to connect with a deceased wife of someone in the audience, but he gets their names wrong, which is pretty embarrassing. Christo quickly tries to fix his mistake by talking to a mother and daughter about their son and brother who had passed away. This time, he gets it right, and they confirm his story, which adds a serious touch to the show. However, things get really weird when Christo hears a strange ringing noise.
Something very intense here.
And suddenly asks if anyone knows someone named Minnie. Jack quickly goes to a commercial break after that. During the break, Jack tells his producer, Leo Fisk, that Minnie was a special nickname for his late wife, Madeline, and he thought no one else knew it. Leo is worried about what's going on, and Christo looks really sick. When the show comes back on, Jack introduces the second guest, Carmichael the Conjurer, who used to be a magician, but now spends his time debunking psychic claims. He's on the show to prove that Christo isn't really psychic, and that all his psychic acts are just tricks. Jack, however, supports Christo by telling the audience that Minnie, the name Christo mentioned earlier, was actually a special nickname for his late wife. This makes the situation tense, and soon Christo and Carmichael are arguing heatedly about whether Christo's abilities are real. The argument comes to a sudden and shocking end when Christo starts vomiting black bile right there on stage. The show quickly cuts to another commercial as Christo is taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, everyone behind the scenes is really freaked out by what just happened. After the dramatic events with Christo, the show continues with new guests, June Ross Mitchell, a parapsychologist, and Lily, a 13-year-old girl who miraculously survived a mass suicide at a satanic church, joined Jack on stage. Lily shares that she has an invisible friend named Mr. Wriggles, whom she claims sometimes appears. Carmichael, still skeptical from his earlier confrontation, doubts their stories too, and suggests they might also be faking. Wanting to explore further, Jack decides that they should hold a seance right after the commercial break, hoping to see if Lily's claims can be proven. While off air, Jack gets some shocking news backstage. Christo has passed away in the hospital. Jack tells his producer Leo about the situation and instructs him to keep it quiet and not tell anyone about Christo's death. The seance starts and things quickly get creepy. Lily says her invisible friend Mr. Wriggles is coming, and suddenly she looks and sounds totally different. Her face changes to look kind of demonic, and her voice becomes really eerie and sinister.
Here, isn't he?
While Mr. Wriggles is controlling her, he starts messing with Jack, suggesting that Jack and June, the parapsychologist, had an affair. Ooh, spicy. He even tells Jack that they've met before by the tall trees, which confuses and unnerves Jack. Then the lights in the studio start flickering and going crazy, and Lily actually begins to float off the ground, which freaks everyone out. Seeing things getting out of hand, June quickly steps in, cuts the connection with the spirit, and ends the seance, bringing Lily back down and returning things to normal. After the intense seance, the show takes another twist. Carmichael, still skeptical about all the supernatural stuff, challenges Jack to show that even he can be tricked with simple illusions. He invites Jack's show partner, Gus McConnell, to help with the demonstration. Carmichael pulls out a pocket watch and uses it to hypnotize Gus right there on stage. To everyone watching, it suddenly seems like Gus is panicking because he feels worms crawling inside his body. Things escalate quickly as Gus starts tearing at his stomach, trying to get the worms out. And shockingly, it looks like worms are actually coming out of him. A large worm actually appears to burst through Gus's head. But then Carmichael snaps his fingers, and just like that, Gus is back to normal, unharmed. They replay the footage for the audience, showing that Gus was never really filled with worms. He just believed he was because of the hypnosis. It was all an illusion, proving Carmichael's point that the mind can be easily fooled. After the hypnotism trick, Jack decides to take another look at what happened during the seance with Lily. He replays the footage on the show, proving to the audience that all the strange occurrences with Lily were real and not tricks. While reviewing the footage, they notice a quick, mysterious flash on the screen. Jack slows down the video frame by frame, and to everyone's shock, they see an image of what looks like Madeline's spirit standing next to him. Suddenly, Lily's behavior changes again. She turns demonic and starts causing chaos on the set. Things quickly go from bad to worse. Gus's head is twisted all the way around, Carmichael is burned to death, and both June and Leo meet tragic ends. The situation spirals out of control, and terrified, the studio audience rushes out, trying to escape the mayhem unfolding around them. After all the chaos on the set, Jack starts to see terrifying visions. He sees himself in past episodes of his show, but something is off. As he's haunted by these images, Jack is hit with a shocking revelation. There's evidence linking him to the satanic church that Lily was involved with. It turns out his success might have come at a terrible price. He learns that his wife Madeline's cancer, which was strange because she never smoked, might have been due to his dealings with the church. In his visions, Jack is transported back to a heart-wrenching scene with Madeline on her deathbed. She's in agony and begs Jack to end her suffering.
Do it!
In a moment of desperation, he sees a dagger on the nightstand and uses it to tragically end her pain by stabbing her in the stomach. Suddenly, Jack snaps back to reality and realizes to his horror that he hasn't stabbed Madeline, but Lily instead. Around him, the set is a scene of horror with bodies and chaos everywhere. As police sirens sound in the distance, Jack stands in shock amidst the devastation he's caused. Thanks for coming on this journey with the Replay Media. If you don't want the thrill to end here, check out our most disturbing films of the 21st century. Click the box on the screen and get ready to be disturbed.